Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to all the brothers out there pushing this word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children out there keeping this word of sincerity and the truth. Okay, I just wanted to go into a quick lesson on these images that was uploaded by this brother YouTube channel, Rooted. It says, Shalom, overcrowded New York satellite view. And like I said in this caption, this New York City photograph was taken by satellite in space. So as you can see, everything is stacked on top of each other. I can't stay zoomed in. Everything is literally stacked up on top of each other. This man, can you see no green in it? No green anywhere. You know, this is literally how Esau Edom got his city stacked. And for the most part, he would call this beautiful, you know, especially he'll get it in the mindset of people at nighttime when the lights are on. This is a beautiful thing. But this is overcrowded. Nobody has no space. Look, you got this little slither of green right there. That very little small slither of green. Everything else is basically, it looks like it's dead, you know. It looks like the earth is just dead. This looks like a earth image if you've seen like movies or something where it try to depict the earth that's not green anymore. This what this would look like if it was zoomed in up close. It just looks dead. And that's because this is how this, look at this. I can't even tell that what all those are supposed to be. It looks lifeless, you know. But this is how this man built his cities. And then he turned around and had people believe that the earth is overpopulated. But no, you got everybody stacked up on top of each other. And this is not how it's supposed to be. Look at this. All these buildings and everything is just stacked up on top of each other. Nobody has room to do anything or go anywhere. But again, this is what Esau Edom would have people believing, that the earth is just overcrowded. So I looked up on Google. Is the earth large enough for everyone to have their own land? And I'm going to read a little bit of it, but really it's an image that I'm going to give to bring out the point. It says, yes, there is theoretically enough habitable land on earth for everyone to have their own plot. But the concept quickly becomes impractical due to resource distribution, infrastructure needs, and the varying quality and usability of different land types. While the entire Earth human population could physically fit into a relatively small area, the Earth's resources are not equitably distributed. And the reality of supporting a global population requires more than just open land, which is true. But the only reason why this is a fact, not the fact that the earth is large enough, but as far as the problems that come with everybody having their own land, is because Esau Edom is in rulership. That's the problem. This man does not know how to manage the earth or the resources. He just takes, steals, and plunders. And he doesn't understand that the earth needs a chance to needs time to revitalize. It needs time to rest, so that it can replenish and continue to replenish. He doesn't understand that concept. This man just takes and destroys, and that's his nature, you know? So the reason why there would be impractical problems due to everybody having their own land is because of Esau. And furthermore, he has everybody relying on his system instead of, because we're supposed to know how to use the earth, manage the earth ourselves. As far as like if you had your own land, you're supposed to know how to garden, you know, have your own garden, you're supposed to have animals, which is actual wealth, you know, being able to create and reproduce resources with the animals. And we're supposed to utilize the animals to help take care of the land, you know, give the land rest. You're supposed to know how to store up things. But this man, what he got grocery stores. You got to go to the grocery store to get meat that's already been slaughtered and processed and this, that, and the third, or whatever the case may be. You got all this processed food, fast food restaurants. This man doesn't know how to manage the Earth. It says theoretical size. Space. Some calculations suggest that the entire population of Earth could fit within a space the size of a large city or a small state if they all lived in high density housing. So it's basically saying, look, and I know one of the brothers from our camp, Elder Yashima, he even said that everybody, the entire Earth's population could fit in the land of Texas and have their own, have their own land. But the way Esau Edom has everything set up, he gonna have you believing the Earth is overpopulated. It says per person allocation, which we ain't got to get into all that, because that's not the point about everybody having their own and this, that, and the third, So now I'm gonna get to this image right here. And it says on the left, if every human on Earth had one of these, and then on the right, it shows you that space, we'd only take up this much space. Now, it goes from 100 square foot tiny house. Every human on the Earth had that. And it goes to America. It said, look how small a space that every human on Earth, which is 8 billion people on Earth, that's how much space you would take. And if you had 1,000 square foot house, that's how much space you would take. This is not even including families. This is just including each individual person. So we ain't talking about a man who having multiple wives and his children. He probably got multiple, like just say you had your own plot of land. Well, we'll go to 10,000, the 10,000 square foot mansion. That's how much space a person would take up. Not even the full United States, but a large portion of it. So, and this was back in 2016 from the little screen share. Like I said, area required to give every individual human, not family, on Earth. It say 9 years ago. Well, yeah, 9 years ago. It's 2016. So you just think about it. If a man had 10,000 square foot or square feet or more, we ain't even got to limit it out. So this is just for an example. But if he had even more than 10, just say he had 50,000 square foot, that'll take, or 100,000. You could probably even say that'll take up the whole left hemisphere, Western hemisphere, somewhere near it, taking up the Western. You still have all this space on the other side of the world, all this space over here on the other side of the world. So you just imagine each man having, just saying he having hundreds and hundreds of acres of land, and he can put different houses. We just talking about on Earth. He just put different houses, mansions built for each of his wives. He had wives, and they all got their own house that they manage. But they all belong to the man. But the woman is managing the house. Every man can have, and now we talking about families. Every man can have something like that, and the Earth still be fully inhabitable with plenty of space for new generations. So now you got next generations that come and inherit land and increase, and they spread. And we talking about in the current state right now. So the previous generation of Pat die, they'll die, and the next generation inherit what they was given. We have more than enough space, more than enough space. But this man would tell you that the Earth is overpopulated. I'm gonna type that in on Google. Is the Earth overpopulated? First I'm gonna get the Earth's population. It says the estimated world population is 2025 is approximately 8.2 billion people. It said 8.23 billion people, or slightly more, for the year's start. So it's about 8.2 or 8.23 billion people projected to be on the earth. Which they'll never know the population, but 8.2 billion people. And out of all these people, it said that the earth is big enough for everyone to have their own plot of land. Let's see. I was gonna look up something else. Oh, is the earth overpopulated? Let's see, overpopulated or underpopulated. It says the question of whether Earth is overpopulated is a complex debate with arguments on both sides. While the current human population of 8 billion is a large number, causing strain on resources and ecosystems, which is due to Esau Edom's little rulership. That's his fault, because he doesn't know how to manage the earth. That's why he's finna be taken away. He's finna be taken out of power, and the true leaders, the righteous leaders, are finna be put into power. Because life is supposed to continue on earth. The Lord didn't intend for, at least, especially for the sons of God, for his chosen people, he didn't intend for us to live on earth and then just die. We were supposed to live forever. But of course, we know the fall of man from the beginning, and we had to go through this whole experience, especially needing Yahweh Shah to get us back to be the bridge between us and Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah. Us and the Heavenly Father. So we actively are getting back to that point. But the fact that it's talking about resources and ecosystems, that's Esau Edom's. This is all because of his rulership, his leadership on earth. It says, which I'm going to skip around, then I'm going to get a couple scriptures. It says arguments for overpopulation is resource strain, environmental impact, food insecurity, ecological overshoot. This is all problems that Esau Edom created with his rulership. It says the population still growing, peak population. It said projects the world could reach about around 10.9 billion before leveling off and potentially declining around the end of the 21st century. So yeah, this is all problems that Esau Edom created. But this is what Yahweh Shah said. This is John chapter 14, 1. I'm reading both in the AMP. 1 and 2, it says, do not let your heart be troubled, afraid, or cowardly. Believe confidently in the Most High and trust in him. Have faith, hold on to it, rely on it, and keep going. And believe also in me. In my Father's house are many dwelling places. And in the KJV, it says mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you, because I am going there to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back again, and I will take you to myself, so that where I am, you may be also. So the Lord, Yahweh Shah, is letting you know, look, in my Father's house, there are many mansions. In the Father's house, look, we finna get it. This is Isaiah 66, verse 1. I'm reading the AMP. This is what the Lord says. Heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool. Where then is a house that you could build for me, and where would my resting place be? Right. The Lord said heaven is his throne and earth is his footstool, showing you that the Lord is far above the earth. He's in the heavens, in the third heaven. The first heaven is the atmosphere that we see, the firmament. That's what we see. Second heaven is outside of that firmament. What would be known as outer space. That's where Esau Edom be seeing all the chariots and got all the clips and everything. And then the third heaven is beyond that. That's where Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai is. So he said heaven is his throne. That's where he's at. And earth is his footstool, which is far, far below him. When I mean far, I mean, far in our thinking, in our sense of far. But Not even, not trying to say where the Lord is far below him. It's just saying he's not where we are. You know, we technically, when you think about the heavens, you got to go up. So heaven is his throne and earth is his footstool. So like Yahweh Shai said, look, I'm going to prepare a place for you. You know, this is a part of our reward. And just like Esau, Edom been seeing these other planets. Let me look that up. Because if the earth is not overpopulated, just going into how Esau got everything stacked up, and then in the kingdom of heaven, we're going to have plenty of space. We're going to literally have plenty of space to have your own. Large enough to have your own planets. It says there are 8 planets in our solar system. Okay, let me see. Let me see something else. It says, look at this. As of September, I typed in how many planets have been discovered. As of September 2025, over 6,000 exoplanets, planets outside of our solar system, have been discovered and confirmed by astronomers. NASA is currently tracking this number, which is constantly updated as scientists confirm more discoveries from missions like Kepler and TESS. There are also thousands more candidate planets awaiting confirmation, and scientists estimate that there could be billions of other worlds in our galaxy alone. Look at this image, man. They saying that these are exoplanets far beyond outside of our galaxy that they don't even know. They have not a clue about information on, I mean, these ain't the actual images. They just giving you a idea of it. As of September 2025, as of this month, as of right now, over 6,000. But this is what Yahweh Shai said back at John 14:2. In my Father's house are many mansions, in the KJV. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. Yahweh Shai said, look, it's plenty of space in the kingdom of Yahweh. It's going to be plenty of space in the kingdom of Yahweh by Shema Shai. And we are already, it's the earth population right now can hold everybody in one country. One country alone. One country alone or one continent alone, however you want to say it, can hold everybody on earth, and everybody have their own land. But the Lord is the Lord is all about abundance. He's all about abundance. So we're finna have something far beyond anything this earth or any human has ever known. The Lord, like I said, he go to prepare a place for us where the Father's house is. In the Father's house are many dwelling places or many mansions. A planet, that's like a mansion. You know how much space you have to do what you want to do, and control what goes on that planet? A planet is like a mansion. Imagine the Lord giving you 2 planets, to yourself. And between those 2 planets, you can build, do whatever you want on it, because we're gonna be all righteous. So everything we do is gonna be righteous, and everything we do, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is gonna grant it to us. We in the kingdom, So imagine you got 2 planets. You can do whatever you want on there, build whatever you want, manage however you want, and you reproducing. You're gonna be constantly reproducing, and there's gonna be more than enough space for you and all your generations to live on that planet or planets. Hell, the Earth's population right now, we still got more than enough space to do what we needed to do. We got more than enough space now. So how much more like the scriptures say, Isaiah 60, what shall become a small nation? How much more then? I'm going to go back to it. It says key details. An exoplanet is a planet that orbits a star or other than our sun. NASA announced the official confirmation of 6,000 exoplanets in September 2025. I didn't even know that, you know. Historical context. The first exoplanet around a sun-like star was discovered about 30 years ago, with the number of discoveries increasing rapidly with improved technology. And it says candidate planets. In addition to confirmed exoplanets, there are thousands of candidate worlds that are awaiting further observation and confirmation by scientists. This say other worlds, man. Thousands. And they already said 6,000. They said over 6,000, and he said it's thousands more candidate planets that they don't even know. They can't even tell if it's a real outside of our galaxy. Man, hold on. It says the discovery rate of exoplanets is increasing. The future missions are planned to find more Earth-like planets and potentially signs of life beyond our solar system. You ain't gonna ever find out, Esau. It ain't for you to discover. It's not for you to discover. You know, what the Lord has created. It ain't for you, you know. And it ain't no telling what type of, if it is other life on these planets, like creatures and things like that, that's going to be for the Israelites to find out. That's going to be for us. The Lord has that reserved for us. You ain't going to ever find out, Esau. Discover, do your test, and no, that ain't for you. What was I going to look up? Oh. It says how many galaxies. It says astronomers estimate that there are between hundreds of billions and possibly up to 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. Though these numbers are estimated based on deep space observations and models, with trillions more believed to exist that are too faint or distant to currently detect. The James Webb Space Telescope, and other powerful instruments continue to discover new, fainter galaxies, refining these estimates. So they don't even know. They don't even know. It's things that Esau would just never find out. You know? You say we live in the Milky Way galaxy, but then it's things that he can never discover. He won't ever know. And look, we at the end of his kingdom. So imagine, not only just Esau wanted to have the whole everybody, he want to be like the Most High and have the earth under his control and all the people, which is what he's actively trying to push. But he got other things that he's trying to do that he wanted to discover and go outside and find out. He'll never know. He'll never know. And even in his agenda that he's trying to push now, it ain't going to be fulfilled. So this man is going to lose horribly. But we have everything coming to us. So this whole crisis about being overpopulated, it's gone now. This whole crisis about being overpopulated and not having enough space, it's not being abundant, all of that's gonna be over. All of that's gonna be over. I'm gonna probably end it on this. It's Deuteronomy 28. I'm gonna start at 1. I'm gonna read down to 14. In the AMP, it says, "Now it shall be, if you diligently listen to and obey the voice of the Lord your God, being careful to do all his commandments, which I am commanding you today, the Lord your God will set you high above all the nations of the earth. All these blessings will come upon you and overtake you if you pay attention to the voice of the Lord your God. You will be blessed in the city and you will be blessed in the field. The offspring of your body," which is going into children, "and the produce of your ground, and the offspring of your animals, the offspring of your herd, and the young of your flock will be blessed." So this is the Lord saying, look, your children, your crops, your resources, your animals, everything that you control, everything that's attached to you, I'm going to increase it. Constantly increase it. Just constantly increase it. Like he said, it started with your children, the offspring of your body, then the ground, which is your crops and your resources. Not only just crops, but It can be like stones, precious stones, different things like that, because the houses and the mansions that we're going to be living in, it's going to be far greater than anything this earth has ever seen. The style of Babylon, the great America, and all the other kingdoms is going to be far outdated compared to us and how our kingdom is going to be built. Your basket and your kneading bowl will be blessed. You will be blessed when you come in, and you will be blessed when you go out. Meaning everywhere you go, you're going to be blessed. Everything is going to work out for you. It's just automatic. It's going to work out for you. Nothing bad will go wrong for you. Everything will be perfect for you. The Lord will cause the enemies who rise up against you to be defeated before you. They will come out against you one way, but flee before you 7 ways. The Lord will the Lord will command the blessing upon you in your storehouses and in all that you undertake. And he will bless you in the land which the Lord your God gives you. Everything that the Lord gives you and everything you do is. So like I got a phone call. It says, the Lord will establish you as a people holy and set apart to himself, just as he has sworn to you. If you keep the commandments of the Lord your God and walk, that is, live your life each and every day in his ways, so all the peoples of the earth will see that you are called by the name of the Lord, and they will be afraid of you. Right. And that respect for the Israelite man, woman, and child, but started with the Israelite man, will be put back on it will be put back on the earth, and everything will respect us, especially these other nations. That's why I said they will be afraid of you. They should fear you. When they see or hear about Israelites coming to their area, they're going to be afraid. They're going to be afraid. We're going to be gods. There's nothing they can do to us. We got Yahweh by Hashem on our side, the chariots, and they gonna be in their lowest state. They don't have no power. These nations are gonna be afraid of you. And like I said, see that you are called by the name of Yahweh by Hashem. Now, verse 11, the Lord will give you great prosperity in the offspring of your body and in the offspring of your livestock and the produce of your ground, in the land which the Lord swore to give your fathers to give you. So the Lord doubled down on it. He was like, look, I'm gonna give you great prosperity. I'm gonna make sure that I increase y'all mightily. Like he said, the offspring of your body, your children, you're gonna have plenty of children. All including myself, because right now I don't have any children, other brothers too who might not have children, or brothers who do have children. The Lord finna multiply something that we ain't never seen before. Like he told his disciples, for everyone, what is it, Matthew 28? I think it's Matthew 19. Matthew 19 at the end of the chapter. The Lord said, look, everybody who done sacrificed all these different things in this world, I'm gonna give it to you 100 times fold. I'm gonna give you 100 times of everything that you had to sacrifice and give up. And you're gonna have it with eternal life. You're gonna enjoy it forever. So brothers, you're gonna have plenty of wives to create plenty of children. Something this earth ain't never seen before. Thousands and thousands of children, from one man, a small nation from one man. And then furthermore, like I said, the offspring of your livestock, everything that you have and own just gonna constantly be prosperous. It's gonna work. Just because it's attached to you, and just because you attached to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. These other nations, even these other nations, they're gonna be with their women, and especially the parents of their of the women. They're gonna want their daughters to be attached unto you. They're gonna. It's just the fact that their daughter, would be a concubine for you, would be more than enough for them to feel, feel special amongst the rest of their nation. Just think about it. It might be a Moabite woman, that become your concubine in the kingdom of heaven. You know, her family, you know, ain't no telling what type of feeling that they have to know that their daughter is attached to a god. You know, even if she is a concubine, everything that's attached into you, you know, it's gonna be blessed. Everything. And I ain't saying that these other nations are gonna have blessings because they're attached to you, but it's gonna be better for them, especially like for the woman, because she'll be bearing you children too. You do whatever you want with them, but she gonna be bearing you children too. And the children that she bears gonna be blessed. Everything that you do is gonna be blessed. Like I said, in the produce of your ground, everything that you own is gonna be blessed. You're gonna have the other nations doing all your resources. They're gonna be tilling the ground for you, you know, gathering all the resources, gathering precious stones, you know, finding all type of crystal stones, different things that the earth can produce, and it's gonna be massively producing this. and it's gonna be abundant. It's gonna be plenty of work for them to do, because the earth is gonna continually be abundant, and not to mention the other planets and whatever's on them. You know, we don't even know. We don't even know yet. So how much more, man? And if, like I said, and if the earth is gonna be this much abundant, and the other planets, you just gonna constantly increase. The Lord He's making more than enough space for us to even enjoy all of this. So even with the earth right now, it's not overpopulated. So how much more we in the kingdom of heaven and we can't die? So we just constantly increasing. Verse 12: the Lord will open for you His good treasure house, the heavens, to give rain to your land in its season, and to bless all the work of your hand. And you will lend to many nations, but you will not borrow. You're gonna have more than enough to lend. He said, but you should not borrow. So like it. That's how you know who's on top. The Lord will make you the head or leader, and not the tail or follower. And you will be above only. So like it. You will be above only. This is every Israelite. Every Israelite. It said you will be above only, and you will not be beneath. So when in comparison to all these other nations, we're going to forever be above them. It said above only. There won't be no Israelite that's a below, you know, or in need. So every Israelite, every Israelite man, you're going to be a God, and you're going to be a king in the kingdom of heaven. You will be above only. You will not be beneath if you listen and pay attention to the commandments of the Lord your God, which I commanded you today to observe them carefully. We're gonna get the new bodies, and we're gonna be programmed to do this. So we're gonna forever be like this, forever. Do not turn aside from any of the words which I am commanding you today, to the right or to the left, to follow and serve other gods. Right. So that being said, the Lord is going to constantly, or He's going to increase us. We will not be diminished. So if the earth right now, if He hasn't done that very thing yet, and it says it's about 8.2 billion people on earth, and with the amount of people on earth right now, everyone can fit in a different part of America, and have everyone on earth can fit in a different part of America and have plenty of space, and not be, you know what I'm saying, not be overcrowded and stacked on top of each other and stuff. If that's like that now, how much more in the kingdom of heaven when the Lord increasingly and abundantly increases the nation of Israel? You know, we just constantly increasing with everything that we doing, you know, especially with offspring. He said He going to create a whole nother, He create mansions for you. He said, in my Father's house are many mansions. He got places dedicated, you know, outside of what we even know, that it's going to be given unto us to house everything that we own and everything that we'll be doing. So this system of overcrowding will not be a problem in the kingdom of heaven. So With that, Lord willing, is the edifying lesson. On that note, we want to give our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to all the brothers out there pushing this word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children out there keeping this word of sincerity and the truth.